One tiny habit can change your entire life, and Atomic Habits is full of them. In this episode of BookFeed Podcast, we break down the key lessons and life-changing insights that this book offers.
All right, so get ready because today we are going deep into habits.
Habits.
Yeah, how to build good ones, break those bad ones, and maybe, just maybe, unlock a few superpowers along the way.
Superpowers, I love it.
So we're going to crack open James Clear's Atomic Habits
Okay.
to help you really, to help you understand how habits form.
Yeah.
And most importantly, how you can use that knowledge to actually make some changes in your life.
Right.
You know, make some serious changes.
Yeah, and the beauty of this book, Atomic Habits, is that it doesn't advocate for just like
a crazy overnight.
Yeah, like some crazy overnight.
Overhaul.
Like, yeah, overhaul. You know, like you have to change everything today. It's like, no.
Yeah.
It really emphasizes the power of tiny changes.
Tiny changes.
Yeah, almost like imperceptible tiny changes.
And those changes compound over time.
Yes.
They add up to big things.
Exactly. Think about it like building a mountain.
Oh, wow.
One grain of sand at a time.
Oh, I love that.
Right?
I love that analogy.
You know, it's like...
It speaks to that, like, that frustrating feeling we all get when we're, like, working really hard but not seeing instant results.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hello.
Right.
I'm over here, like, hustling.
Where's my reward? Yeah, where's my reward?
Exactly.
And Clear calls that...
the plateau of latent potential.
The plateau, yeah, of latent potential.
Yes.
Have you ever felt that, like, in your own life?
Oh, absolutely.
You're putting in the effort,
Yeah.
but it feels like nothing's happening.
I think we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
It's like that moment right
You
before...
remember the pot boils?
Yes. Before the pot of water boils.
Yeah.
It seems like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
But all that heat is building up.
It is, yeah.
It's about to, transform that water from liquid to gas.
Yeah.
So the effort that you're putting in now, even if you don't see the results yet,
Right.
it's building up that potential for that breakthrough.
So patience really is a virtue.
It is, especially when it comes to habits.
Yes.
And, speaking of these breakthroughs, Clear Dees argues that the most effective and lasting habits
Okay.
are actually, like, deeply tied to our identity.
Our identity.
So it's not just about wanting to be a certain way. It's actually about becoming
that person.
that person.
Through your actions.
Through the actions, yeah.
Like, imagine you want to become a morning person.
Okay, yeah.
It's not enough to set an early alarm.
Right.
You need to actually start acting like a morning person.
Oh, okay.
So what do morning people do?
Yeah.
They get enough sleep.
Okay.
They prep for their day the night before.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a really nice morning routine they enjoy.
Yeah.
So it's about shifting your actions.
To match the identity.
Yes, to match the identity you want to embody.
I love how he, like, uses the example of someone who's, like,
Yeah.
proud of their biceps.
Right.
So they're far less likely to skip an upper body workout because that action is directly linked to
This part of their identity.
to that part of themselves that they value.
They value, yeah.
It's not just about, like, getting a good workout in. It's about reinforcing, like,
Who they are.
who they are.
That's such a powerful shift.
It is.
By focusing on who you want to become
Yeah.
rather than just what you want to achieve, you create a much stronger foundation for habit change.
For habit change, yeah.
So how do we go about building these identity-based habits?
Like, how do we actually do it?
Well, Clear breaks down the science behind it with what he calls the habit loop.
Okay, let's break down this habit loop.
Okay.
So I know there are 4 stages.
There are 4 stages, yes.
Okay, what's the first stage?
First, we have the cue,
The cue.
which is essentially a trigger
Okay.
that signal your brain to initiate a behavior.
Oh, okay.
That could be anything.
Yeah.
A specific time of day.
Right.
Seeing your running shoes by the door.
Oh,
Even the smell of freshly brewed coffee.
yeah.
It's like these cues kind of kickstart that habit process.
Okay, so that sets the stage.
Uh-huh.
Then what? What's the next one?
Then comes the craving,
The craving.
which is the motivational force behind the habit.
Okay.
So you see that delicious looking cookie
Oh, yeah.
on the counter, and you have this craving for something sweet.
Yes, definitely.
Or you hear your phone buzz, and you have that,
Urge to check it.
yes, to check your messages.
Yeah.
So the craving is like that engine that drives the habit, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then the response
response.
is the actual habit itself.
So that's the action you take, the actual doing.
The action, yes.
Okay, so you eat the cookie or you grab the phone.
Exactly. And then finally, the reward.
Okay, The reward.
This is the satisfying feeling you get
From doing the thing.
from indulging the craving.
Yeah, okay.
So that cookie tasted amazing.
Yeah.
And you feel a sense of pleasure.
Right.
Or you checked your messages and found out you got good news. And you get a little dopamine hit. Dopamine.
Our brain's happy dance.
Oh.
So the reward reinforces the entire loop,
It does.
making you more likely to repeat the process
Okay.
in the future.
So it's like a feedback loop.
Exactly. It's like a feedback loop that strengthens each time you go through it.
And so the more you repeat a habit,
Yeah.
the more ingrained it becomes.
Yes, exactly.
So that's why understanding each stage of the habit loop
yeah.
is so crucial for both.
Building good habits and breaking bad ones.
Building good habits and breaking bad ones.
It's great.
Wow, this is getting really interesting.
It is. It is.
So how can we use this knowledge
Yeah.
to say, I don't know, build a new habit,
Yeah.
like exercising every morning?
Okay, so let's take that example.
Okay.
Using the habit loop framework, you could make the cue more obvious,
Okay.
like laying out your workout clothes the night before.
Right.
You could amplify the craving by maybe finding a type of exercise you actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's dancing or hiking.
Or something with a friend.
Okay, yeah.
To simplify the response,
Okay.
you could choose a gym that's on your way to work.
Okay.
Or have your workout gear like already ready to go.
Yeah.
Right by
It's
the
like on
door.
the door.
So it's easy. You just grab it and go.
Yeah, okay.
And for the reward, you could plan a healthy, delicious breakfast for yourself
Ooh,
or treat yourself to a relaxing bath afterward.
I like that.
So
you're like
you're hacking the habit loops to make it work for you.
hacking the habit loop.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the beauty of this framework.
Yeah.
It's not about willpower or motivation.
Right.
It's about understanding how habits work
Uh-huh.
and using that knowledge to your advantage.
This is really eye-opening stuff.
Yeah.
And another thing that really intrigued me in the book
Okay.
was this idea of making good habits irresistible
Yeah.
and bad habits unattractive.
Right.
Like it's like some kind of Jedi mind trick for your own brain.
Jedi mind trick. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a brilliant approach,
It is.
and it's rooted in the science of cravings.
Okay.
We often think it's the reward itself
Yeah.
that drives our habits,
Mm.
but it's actually the anticipation of the reward. Our brains get flooded with dopamine.
Oh, dopamine.
It's that feel-good chemical, right?
Yeah.
When we anticipate something pleasurable,
Okay.
and that motivates us to take action.
So it's like that build-up.
It's the build-up.
Yeah, that build-up of anticipation.
That anticipation, exactly.
That gets us going.
Yes.
Okay, so how do we kind of build up that anticipation? How do we make those good habits seem
Extra appealing.
extra appealing?
Yeah.
One way to do this is through a technique called temptation bundling.
Temptation bundling.
Do you link an action that you need to do
Okay.
with an action that you want to do?
Okay.
For example,
Uh-huh.
you could only allow yourself to listen to your favorite podcast
Oh, yeah.
while you're working out.
Oh, I like that. Hey, that's so clever. So you're basically,
And tricking your brain.
you're tricking your brain into associating the workout
Yeah.
with something enjoyable.
Yeah.
So you're leveraging that power of anticipation
Okay.
to make that good habit more alluring.
I like it.
Clear also talks about habit stacking,
Habit stacking.
where you link a new habit
Okay.
to an existing one.
Okay.
So if you already have a solid habit of making your bed
Oh, yeah.
every morning,
Uh-huh.
you could stack a new habit.
On top of that.
On top of that, like doing 5 minutes of meditation
Oh, I see.
right after you make the bed.
Okay, so you're using the first
The existing habit
as a trigger for the...
as a trigger for the new one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I like that.
And it makes it easier to stick with it.
Like a little chain reaction.
Exactly. And the more you repeat that sequence,
Mm-hmm.
the stronger that association becomes.
I'm starting to see how this all kind of fits together.
It does.
Like to create this system for building lasting habits.
Absolutely.
But what about the flip side?
Flip side.
Yeah. What about making those bad habits unattractive?
Unattractive.
How do we do that?
Well, the key here is to increase friction,
Okay.
to make the bad habit more difficult.
More difficult to do. Okay.
Think about a bad habit you might want to break,
Oh, okay.
like scrolling through social media before bed.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
What could I do?
What could you do?
Yeah.
You could start by moving your phone out of the bedroom
Okay.
or use an app that blocks social media
Yeah.
after a certain time.
Okay, yeah.
You could even just replace your phone
With a book.
with a book on your nightstand.
Okay.
So making it harder to give in
Yeah.
to that temptation.
It's amazing how,
A little inconvenience can make a world of difference.
A little inconvenience, right?
Yeah. It's like putting up roadblocks for your bad habits.
I like that.
Yeah.
Roadblocks for your bad habits.
Exactly. It's making that undesirable action less convenient.
Uh-huh.
You're less likely to engage in it.
Yeah.
It's a simple concept.
Yeah, it is.
But incredibly effective.
This is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Quick reminder, if you're finding this conversation helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us bring more great content your way. Let's continue with the conversation.
So we were just discussing how to make those bad habits less appealing, remember?
Yeah.
By adding friction.
Right.
It's a simple but really powerful way
It is.
to make those unhealthy choices
Yeah.
less automatic.
It's like we're putting up
Roadblocks.
yeah.
Speed bumps, yeah.
Yeah, on the road to bad habits.
Yes.
And forcing ourselves to slow down.
Yes.
To be more intentional.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
So,
Was there a way to flip that around? To flip it around?
yeah, and make the good habits feel
Effortless.
effortless, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And that brings us to one of the most important principles in Atomic Habits,
Okay.
this idea of environment design.
Environment design.
Yes,
So we're not just changing our habits, we're changing the spaces around us
the spaces around us.
to support those habits.
Exactly.
It's like setting ourselves up for success before we even start.
Precisely. Remember how we talked about those cues
Uh-huh.
being the triggers for our habits?
Yeah.
Well, our environment is full of these cues,
It is.
both good and bad.
Right.
And by redesigning our surroundings,
Okay.
we can make those cues for good habits more obvious
More obvious.
and the cues for bad habits
Yeah.
less noticeable.
Okay, I'm starting to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if I want to read more,
Okay.
instead of hiding all my books away
Right.
on like a dusty shelf,
Right.
I could create a cozy reading nook
A reading nook, yes.
with a comfy chair and good lighting right in the middle of my living room.
Exactly.
Make it super obvious.
You're making it more inviting
Yeah.
by making the cue, the book itself,
Yeah.
more visible and more accessible.
More accessible. Okay.
Clear even suggests putting your book on your pillow every morning.
Oh, wow.
So it's the first thing you see
Oh, I like
when you wake up.
That's a good idea. It's like sending a subliminal message.
It's a subliminal message to your brain.
To your brain.
Like, hey, remember that reading goal?
Remember that reading goal?
Here's a reminder.
Here's your reminder.
What are some other examples of that?
Okay, think about your workspace.
Okay.
If you're trying to be more productive,
Uh-huh.
a cluttered desk can be a source of distraction.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But a clean, organized workspace
right.
with all your essential tools within reach
Yeah.
can make it much easier to focus.
It's amazing how much our physical surroundings can impact our
behaviors.
behavior.
Yeah.
It's incredibly powerful.
It is.
And it's not just about our homes
Oh, okay.
and workspaces.
Okay.
We can design our social environments
Oh,
to support our habits.
social environments.
Yeah, Clear talks about
Okay.
joining cultures that align with your desired behavior.
So, like, if I want to run a marathon,
Yeah.
I should join a running club.
Join a running club. Exactly.
Surround myself with runners.
Surround yourself with other runners.
Got it.
Right? Immerse yourself in a culture that values running.
Okay.
You'll be surrounded by people who understand your goals.
Right. They get it.
They get it. They'll support you. They'll hold you accountable. Plus, it can make running more enjoyable
Yeah.
when you have that community to share it with.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
We're social creatures.
we are.
And our habits are often shaped
Yes.
by the people around us.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
even with,
Even with the best environment,
the best environment. Yeah.
supportive communities, we still have those moments where we're tempted
Tempted. Oh, yeah.
to give into those bad habits.
Those bad habits.
Yeah, so what do we do
What do we do?
in those moments?
That's where the decisive moment comes in.
a decisive moment.
It's that crucial point
Okay.
where we choose to either follow through with the habit
Okay.
or give in to temptation.
Oh, okay. So
Like
like
a fork in the road.
when I'm standing in the kitchen,
Yes.
staring at the bag of chips,
That bag of chips.
and I'm like, do I grab a handful?
Exactly.
Do I stick to my healthy eating plan?
That's it.
Okay.
It's that moment
Yeah.
where your willpower is put to the test.
It is.
And the key to winning those battles
Uh-huh.
is to make the right choice,
The easier choice.
easier choice.
Okay.
So how do we do that?
Yeah, how do we do that?
How do we make sure we choose the apple
Yeah.
over the chips?
Over the chips.
One strategy Clear recommends
Okay.
is the 2-minute rule,
The 2-minute rule.
where you break down a habit into its smallest, most manageable step.
Oh, okay.
So instead of feeling overwhelmed
Right.
by the thought of a 30-minute workout,
Right.
you just focus on putting on your workout clothes.
Oh, just start there.
Just start there.
Okay.
Or instead of trying to write an entire chapter,
Yeah.
you commit to just writing for 2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay.
It's about lowering that barrier to entry,
Yeah.
making it so easy to start
So easy. Yeah.
that you can't say no.
Okay.
And often,
once you start.
once you take that small step,
Usually.
you're more likely to continue
Yeah. Yeah.
with the rest of the habit,
It's like you're tricking your brain.
tricking your brain into
Yeah.
thinking it's not doing that much.
It's not a big deal.
That's not a big deal.
Yeah. I like that.
But what about those days where even 2 minutes feels like a lot?
Right. Right.
What about those times when motivation is just nowhere to be found?
Yeah. Where's the motivation?
I know.
Yeah.
That's when we can turn to technology for a little extra help.
Technology.
A little extra help. Think about automatic savings plans,
Oh, yeah.
where a portion of your paycheck
Gets automatically put away.
is automatically transferred into your savings account each month.
Yeah.
Or fitness trackers
Fitness trackers.
that remind us to move
To move. Yeah.
throughout the day.
Yeah.
Exactly. We can also use apps that block distracting websites,
Oh.
or even set up our phones
to limit our screen time.
to limit screen time
Yeah.
after a certain hour.
Yeah. So it's like
So by automating those good habits,
automating them. Yeah.
we remove the need for constant decision making.
Yeah. You're taking the decision out.
You're taking it out.
Yeah.
Essentially outsourcing our willpower to technology.
Oh, I love that idea.
Right.
Outsourcing your willpower to technology.
In technology. Exactly.
That's great, but let's be real.
Let's be real.
Even with all the best strategies in
Uh-huh.
tech support, sometimes it's that feeling of satisfaction, that
Yeah.
sense of reward
That reward
that keeps us going.
keeps us going.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
So I'm sure there's some science behind that too.
There is. There is.
Yeah.
Our brains are wired
They are.
to seek pleasure
Okay.
and avoid pain.
Right.
And this plays a huge role in habit formation.
It does.
If a habit feels rewarding,
Okay.
we're much more likely to repeat it.
Makes sense. So like if I want to stick to my morning yoga routine,
Okay, your morning yoga routine
I need to find a way to make it feel good.
to make it feel good.
But how do we make good habits
Yeah.
feel instantly rewarding?
Instantly rewarding.
Yeah, especially when those benefits
Yeah,
might not show up
right away.
right away.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Clear has some great tips for this.
Okay.
He emphasizes the importance of finding those immediate rewards
Wow.
to reinforce our good habit.
Immediate rewards.
Remember how our brains are wired for that instant gratification?
They are, yeah.
We can use that to our advantage
Okay.
by finding ways to make even the smallest actions
Yeah.
feel satisfying.
Feel satisfying. Okay.
So instead of focusing on those long-term benefits of yoga,
right.
like
Okay.
increased flexibility,
Yeah, or reduced stress.
reduce stress,
I might just focus on like,
how good it feels to just stretch your
Oh.
body first thing in the
yeah,
morning.
okay.
Exactly. You could also create a little ritual
A ritual.
around your yoga practice.
Okay.
Maybe light a scented candle
Okay.
or put on your favorite playlist.
Okay.
By making that experience more enjoyable,
Yeah.
you're increasing the likelihood that you'll stick with it.
It's like creating this positive feedback loop
Positive feedback loop, yes.
where the good feelings
Yeah.
associated with the habit
Uh-huh.
make you want to do it again and again.
Apply.
It's like training your brain
You are.
to crave those healthy habits.
To crave those healthy habits. That's a great way to put it.
And one of the simplest ways to
Yeah.
create that reward
Yeah.
is through habit tracking.
Habit tracking?
Have you ever used a habit tracker?
Oh, absolutely.
There's something so satisfying
There is.
about physically checking something off.
Oh,
Checking it off, yeah.
Or like filling
Filling it in.
a tracker.
Yes.
Like after you've done something,
It's incredibly motivating.
it is.
It gives you that immediate feedback.
Yeah.
It reinforces your progress,
And-
keeps you engaged,
Yeah. Keeps you engaged.
and it creates that visual reminder of
Yes.
your commitment,
Yeah.
and that helps you stay focused.
But isn't there a risk of getting like
Oh, yeah.
too obsessed with like the numbers?
Like the numbers.
Yeah, like chasing streaks
Right.
instead of focusing on like
The real reasons behind the habit.
yeah,
You bring up a valid point.
yeah,
Clear even mentions Goodhart's Law. Goodhart's Law.
which states that when a measure becomes a target,
Uh-huh.
it ceases to be a good measure.
Oh, wow.
In other words,
Yeah.
if we get too fixated on the numbers,
Yeah.
we might lose sight of the bigger picture
So it's about using habit tracking as
Yeah.
a tool,
as a tool, not the main focus.
not the main focus. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a guide,
Yeah.
not a dictator.
I like that. But what about
What about
those times when we inevitably slip up?
we slip up?
We're human. It happens.
It happens.
What's the best way to handle those?
Those setbacks?
Setbacks.
Setbacks are a normal part of the process.
They are.
The important thing is to get back on track
Get back on track.
as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Clear emphasizes this idea of never missing twice.
Never missing twice.
If you miss a day, don't beat yourself up.
Don't beat yourself up.
Just focus on getting back to it,
To your routine.
to your routine the next day.
Yeah. It's like that saying,
What's that?
fall down 7 times, stand up 8.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
But even with all the willpower in the world,
Uh-huh.
sometimes it's like having someone in your corner cheering you on
Yes.
makes all the difference.
It does.
So is there a way to build that support system?
That support system
Yeah.
into our habit journey.
We were just talking about how, like, having a support system can really make a difference
Exactly.
when we're trying to build these new habits.
Absolutely.
Like having your own little cheering section to keep you motivated.
Exactly. Having that external support
Yeah.
is so helpful,
Mm-hmm.
especially when our motivation starts
A
to
waiver,
waver. Yeah,
to fade a little bit.
exactly.
But what if, like, finding a real-life accountability partner
Yeah.
isn't really an option for people?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Are there other ways to kind of...
To build in that external motivation.
Yeah, to get that external motivation.
Absolutely. Clear suggests creating a habit contract.
Oh, a habit contract. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a written or even just a verbal agreement
Okay.
where you clearly state your commitment to the habit
Okay.
and outline specific consequences
That's a
for not following through.
Okay.
And here's the key.
Okay.
You get someone you trust,
Okay.
like a friend or family member,
Yeah.
to sign off on it.
Oh, so they know about it.
So they know about it,
Okay.
adding that extra layer of accountability.
So it's like a legally binding agreement.
Almost like a legally binding
Yeah.
agreement with yourself,
But with a witness
but with a witness.
to make sure you actually do it.
Exactly. And the consequences don't have to be anything drastic.
Okay.
It could be as simple as donating to a charity.
Oh, okay.
You don't support or doing an extra chore around the house.
Right. Right.
The point is to create a system
Yeah.
where there's a tangible downside
And downside. Yeah.
to not following through.
So it's like you're giving
Like
yourself
a little incentive.
a little extra push.
Yeah, an extra push
To stay on track.
to stay on track.
That's a good strategy.
It is. It is.
But all this talk about accountability partners
Yeah.
and habit contracts
Right.
makes me wonder, what if I'm not even sure which habits to focus on?
That's a great question.
Yeah, like,
A great question.
where do I even begin?
Where do you begin?
Yeah.
Clear addresses this with the concept of the explore-exploit trade-off.
Explore, okay.
Think of it like you're searching for buried treasure.
Okay.
At first, you need to explore different areas,
Okay.
dig in various spots, and just kind of see what you find.
See what's there.
This is the exploration phase.
Okay, so it's about
Yeah.
trying new things.
Trying new things,
Experimenting. And seeing what sticks.
seeing what sticks, exactly.
Yeah.
It's about being open to those possibilities
Okay.
and figuring out what works best for you.
So once I've kind of explored those options,
Yes.
and I've identified a few
A few promising habits.
promising habits.
That's when you shift to the exploitation phase.
Exploitation, okay?
This is where you focus your energy
Of a specific habit.
on those habits, refining your approach,
Yeah.
and really maximizing your efforts.
Okay, so I go from a wide range.
Wide range,
We're more targeted.
more targeted approach.
I like that.
Explore, then exploit.
But how do we know when to make that shift?
That's a good question.
Yeah, how do we know when we've explored enough
Yeah,
and it's time to really double down?
that's where that self-awareness comes in.
Okay.
And reflection.
Reflection, yeah.
You have to pay attention to how different habits make you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Notice the results you're getting,
Okay.
and then adjust accordingly.
So being honest with yourself about
Be honest with yourself, what's working, what's not working,
what's working, what's not.
and being willing to let go
To let go.
of habits that aren't serving you.
Yeah, even if you've put a lot of time into them.
Even if you've invested time and energy,
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah.
it's a journey, not a destination.
A j-
It's about that continuous improvement,
Continuous improvement, yeah.
not perfection.
Not perfection.
We're always learning, we're always growing.
But even with like the best intentions
Yeah.
and the best strategies,
Right.
we all hit those points where it's like
Boredom sets in.
boredom sets in.
Yeah.
So how do we stay motivated?
How do we stay motivated
Yeah.
when the initial excitement kind of wears off?
Yeah, the initial excitement wears off.
I know.
It does, yeah.
One strategy, Clear suggests,
Okay.
is incorporating variety into our routines.
Okay.
So instead of doing the exact same workout every day,
Okay.
you try different classes, maybe switch up your running routes.
Oh, okay. Mix it up a little bit.
Mix it up.
Okay.
If you're trying to build a writing habit,
Yeah.
you could experiment with different writing prompts
Okay.
or genres.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah. So it's about keeping things fresh.
Keeping things fresh, keeping it engaging.
Keeping your brain engaged.
Oh, yes. Preventing our brains from going on autopilot.
Autopilot, yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like reminding yourself why you started.
Why you started.
Yeah, why you started these habits in the first place.
Rediscovering the joy.
The joy.
And the challenge.
Yeah. I like that. It's
Yeah.
like injecting a little
Playfulness.
brightness. Yeah.
Into the process.
But let's be real.
Let's be real.
Building lasting habits takes
Effort and dedication.
effort, dedication.
It does.
Yeah. So are there any secrets?
Just
Staying committed when things get tough.
When things get tough, one of the most important things Clear emphasizes
Okay.
is the power of repetition.
Repetition.
It's not about being perfect.
Okay.
It's about showing up consistently,
Showing up
even when you don't feel like it.
consistently.
He reminds us
Yeah.
professionals stick to their habits,
Yeah.
even when they're not feeling motivated.
Even when they're not feeling it.
Yeah.
So it's like making it automatic.
Automatic.
Yeah.
Like brushing your teeth
Yeah,
or
yeah.
tying your shoes.
You don't even think about it. You just do it.
You just do it.
Yeah.
And the more we repeat a habit,
Mm-hmm.
the more ingrained it becomes
In our brain.
in our neural pathways.
Neural pathways, yeah.
It's like building a muscle.
Okay.
The more you use it,
The stronger it gets.
the stronger it gets.
Makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. But even with the best habits, the strongest willpower,
Yeah.
we all have those days.
We do.
Where we fall short.
We fall short.
So what's the best way
How do we handle those setbacks?
to handle those setbacks? Yeah.
Clear encourages us to focus on reflection and review.
Okay, reflection.
Take some time
Review.
to analyze your progress,
Okay.
identify areas for improvement,
Yeah.
adjust your approach.
So being honest
Yes.
about what's working, what's not.
What's working, what's not,
Using that information to make changes.
make adjustments.
Keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's about embracing that process.
Of continuous improvement.
Continuous improvement.
That's it. Building better habits.
Yeah.
It's not about reaching some destination.
Right.
It's about evolving and becoming the best versions of ourselves.
I love that.
Right.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Atomic Habits.
Atomic habit.
Thank you for tuning in to BookFeed Podcast. Remember, as Atomic Habits teaches us, even the smallest actions can lead to powerful transformations. If today's episode sparked new ideas, start with just one habit today, no matter how small. Consistency is key. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Share this episode and leave a comment about which habit you're focusing on. Join us next episode for more life-changing insights. Keep building those habits and moving toward the life you envision. The power to transform is within you, one small step at a time.